And thanks so much for staying with us here on Morning Live. A jury in the state of Georgia in the United States has begun deliberations on whether 3 white men are guilty of the murder and death of Ahmaud Arbery. Now, the 12-person jury could hand down their verdict within hours, if not days, after a 2-week trial that heard from more than 24 witnesses. They will also pronounce themselves on charges that include murder, aggravated assault and false imprisonment during the killing of the 25-year-old black man in the coastal suburb of Satilla Shores in February last year.
That has clear racial overtones. 3 white men arguing self-defense when they sought to conduct a citizen's arrest of Arbery, who was jogging in their neighborhood after they had reason to believe he may be connected to previous property crimes in the area. But no evidence has emerged that Arbery stole anything during his frequent runs through Satilla Shores. When confronted by his armed pursuers, a struggle ensued, leaving Arbery dead.
Mr. Arbery was under attack. They committed 4 felonies against him, and those are the 4 felonies in the indictment. Then they shot and killed him, not because he was a threat to them, but because he wouldn't stop and talk to them. And they were going to make him, absolutely make him stop. We're going to point a shotgun at you. That'll make you stop. That should make you stop right here in your tracks because we want to talk to you. And what did he do? He still ran away. Still ran away. For 5 minutes, ran away.
During closing arguments, defense attorney Laura Hogue sought to paint Arbery as a frightening criminal with long, dirty toenails, while her colleagues sought to further justify the actions of their clients, Travis McMichael, his father Greg McMichael, and their neighbor William Bryan.
You do have the right to have a firearm when you make an arrest. You do have the right to stop a person and to hold them and detain them for the police. And there is risk with that. And there are tragic consequences that can come from that. And we can all sit here right now and say what the state has said from the very beginning and what Travis himself recognizes. If he had only stayed home that day, if he had just sat on the couch and fallen asleep with his kid that day, you are allowed to defend yourself. You are allowed to use force that is likely to cause death or serious bodily injury if you believe it's necessary.
The trial has attracted nationwide attention, particularly when defense attorneys sought to unsuccessfully have black pastors, including Reverends Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, ejected from the courtroom over concerns their presence might influence the jury. They were there to support the Arbery family.
When I heard the Hogues, she described Ahmaud as his long legs and his dirty, long toenails. That was just beyond rude. Regardless of what kind of toenails he had, what size legs he had, that was still my son. And my son actually was running for his life in that description. I thought that was just flat out just rude.
We understand the defense counsel has a job to do. However, some of the arguments that they're relying on smacks of the tradition of racism, victim blaming, and really just a lack of scrupulousness.
The decision in Georgia will come down just days after a jury decided to acquit Kyle Rittenhouse, a white man, of all charges in the shooting deaths of 2 white men while injuring a 3rd during a Black Lives Matter protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year. The claim, self-defense. More than 1,600 kilometers away, a jury is now weighing a similar argument, although the circumstances are quite different. And while race is not the main thrust in either case, it has been hard to ignore in a country that remains wildly polarized around the issue of racial justice. Sherman Briceby's SABC News, New York.